Hello, my true crime lovelies. How are you? I hope you are as lovely in life as you are in my mind. All right, I'm just warning you, I'm going to be snacking on almonds. If that bothers you, you don't need to announce your departure. I just know some people get creeped out by snacking on camera. I hope everybody is well. Let me know where you are coming in from and what's the weather. It was raining here. It has stopped, thank goodness, in Manhattan. Skies cloudy. Happy sentencing day. Happy sentencing day. We're gonna do some of Donna's logs. The sentencing starts at 3. So I guess they've foregone the PSI, the pre-sentence investigation that they had originally thought they were wanted to have for counts 2 and 3. What's wrong? What's wrong? It's a holiday here in the States, so the little person is home. All right. We're we're doing the nor'easter. I heard there was one coming this way, but hopefully it's just the rain. It doesn't, I'm not hearing the wind howl, so it hasn't been, but I think like early this morning we had I don't know how the hype works, Holly. I wish someone in the chat wiser than I. Okay. Shh. Where's your monster truck or your airplane? 7:07 p.m. Dark and damp and chilly. Yikes. Hopefully you have a nice fire or something going on. 68 and sunny in Kentucky. Lovely. All right, let's dig into these. These are her event logs since she got back to Leon County. Hang on a second. Let's see what this one is doing. Ooh, crisis averted, I hope. Okay. We're having a snack crisis in my house. All right, let's save this. So these are from when she got back to Leon County. So we all saw that body cam footage of her coming back from Wakulla to Leon County. Can you guys see that? Yes, you can. We're gonna go all the way to the bottom because I'm not gonna read every single one, but yeah, we'll figure it out as we go along. And I believe we're gonna watch our live version with Law and Order. Or not Law and Order. What am I saying? Law and Crime. Oh, there goes the wind. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Let's just see. Okay, we'll do that in a second. Let's get started. That is sardines. You don't want sardines, honey. Those are little fish. No. There we go. Okay, on 8/20, her first day back in Leon County, inmate Adelson through via intercom asked if she could take a shower before going to court. I advised her that I will notify the ongoing deputy that inmate Adelson requested a shower before going to court. Sergeant Moore enters on 8:20 at 10:05 with inmate Adelson, thermal, and placed them in cage, size large, top and bottom, per Captain Smith. So Katie Mack was rocking the small. Donna's in the large. At least it's not extra large. Maybe she was the one telling Jackie Fulford to wear the bigger clothes. All right, 8:20, 5:35. This inmate was escorted back to the pod by Deputy B. Allen and Sergeant B. Bodison. Upon arriving to her room, inmate Adelson noticed that her breakfast tray was filled with ants. I allowed her to spray her desk, that also had ants on it, and around the perimeter of her room with the broadside, maybe some sort of insecticide. Once she was finished, no, we're not opening this. This is fish. We're not opening this. Once she finished cleaning her room, I told her to keep the door open to air out the room so that the smell of broadside wouldn't be too strong. Also, this inmate was given her lunch tray that came early as well. So if she's in court that day, don't they paper bag it for her? 7:20. During my visual, I opened inmate door to let her know she'll be receiving a shower soon as the pod shakedown and cleanup was completed. Also, both empty lunch and dinner tray were removed from and discarded from her room to prevent the I'm guessing, spread of ants in her room. That was fast, though. If her breakfast tray came or lunch tray came and by 5 o'clock ants were there, that seems odd. Okay. Late entry on the 21st at 6:55 a.m. While out for her time, inmate Adelson cleaned her room and sat down in the day room for the remaining whatever of her time. She returned at 7:17. During my rounds, honey, why aren't you talking? I don't know why you're making that noise. I don't know what that noise means. Do you need help? Can you say that? I need help? Let me hear you. I need help? Can't hear you. Okay. During my rounds and tablet pickup, this inmate appears to be resting in bed with her eyes closed with the earbuds in her ear. At this time, I advised this inmate that it was 11 p.m. and I'm collecting tablets, and she handed me her tablet and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I fell asleep." I said that it was okay and that I'm going to charge her tablet for her. So then the next day, 5:18 in the morning, medication nurse called the pod to verify if inmate is going to court. After confirmation that she is, medication nurse entered the pod shortly after and gave her medications. There was one pill that this inmate did not want and that the medication nurse took from her cup. Inmate took medication with water and said, "Thank you." I asked if she was okay. She stated, "Yes, ma'am," and the door was secured at this time. Okay. Inmate Adelson's attorney, this is on the 22nd, 7:35 p.m., so after court, called LCDF and was routed to Central Control to see if inmate Adelson could receive another set of headphones due to the headphones currently in her possession not working properly. Now, why would she have to call Jackie, I'm assuming, and then Jackie has to call LCDF and then get routed to... Why can't she just tell them in the jail, "Hey, my headphones are not working"? Am I missing something? Sergeant Blakely has been notified prior to inmate Adelson's lawyer calling and is currently searching for a set of Oh, okay. So it sounds like she did try to get them ahead of time. This information has been relayed to the pod officer to relay to inmate Adelson. Is she still like calling the manager? On the 22nd at 7:57, while conducting a round in Pod A at approximately 1850 hours, I approached inmate Adelson's cell door. She advised that she was supposed to make a phone call to her attorney at 1830 hours, so 6:30. At this time, There is currently an inmate out present at the visitation booth. Inmate Adelson is on protective custody. I advise that as soon as the inmate visitation is complete, she will be allowed to come out for her hour, and she may use the phone and shower during that time. So it sounds like if she had an appointment at 6:30, she needed to let them know ahead of time so they could have coordinated. Like, how do they know when you're supposed to call your attorney? And they have, like, they're not the concierge, Donna. They're there to keep you secure. You're in protective custody. You know the drill. She then advised me she called her attorney using her tablet, but her attorney stated that she was unable to hear her with the headphones. Oh, we gotta go back to the headphones. She's gotta let them know. I'm still waiting on my new headphones. Inmate Adelson asked for another pair of headphones. I advised her that I did not have headphones in my possession. Classification administer headphones. And we just had it at 7:35 where they're contacting you to tell you they're trying to find your headphones for you, or trying to find some. I will look for headphones, but at this moment I can't find them. I will send an email to the classification officer over the female unit to advise of inmate Adelson needing headphones. So this was by Blakely at 7:57. The other one was by, I don't know how you say that, in Garrick at 7:35. Like, what's up with your headphones and your tiny ear canals? Okay. I mean, I can see how they wouldn't hear after we heard Charlie's when we did the big toe thing, like how loud it is. I can see why they wouldn't be able to hear, but like, when did you know these headphones were not working? Anyway. Okay. I used to eat sardines. Oh my God. I ate so many sardines with my grandma. Oh, thank you, Tracy, for gifting the membership. I appreciate you. Yes, we're gonna get to the meltdown. We're gonna cover all that. She had a couple of meltdowns. I can't find it here, but I see it over here. Anyway, my great grandma, we used to eat sardines and Ritz crackers all the time. It's good omega. It's good omega-3, and it's low mercury, which obviously is a greater concern when you're preggers. Okay. So we're still talking about the headphones, it looks like, on the 23rd at 9:14. Inmate Adelson stated, now shouldn't she be in court? When is the 23rd? Is that a weekend? Oh yeah, that would be a Saturday, because the 25th was that Monday when I went to Sarah's trial. Okay. Inmate Adelson stated that her headphones are not working, specifically her mic. She can hear, but the mic does not work for others to hear her. She stated her attorney spoke with someone in the jail, no name provided. It looks like they don't even read the event log, because we just saw where the conversation happened, right? Y'all can't see that? Hurchins, and was told that a new set of earbuds would be provided. Inmate Adelson was advised by this officer that I would look into the situation. Okay, then on the 23rd at 9:25 a.m., Inmate Adelson was approved a new pair of earbuds by Sergeant Clayton and Sergeant Ross. It was recorded on the Axon camera that Adelson, we could get more footage. Do we want that footage? That Adelson tested the new pair of earbuds and gave a thumbs up, signifying that the new earbuds were in good working order. The old pair was collected and all was complete without incident. Whew, thank goodness. Okay. So she got some county fresh mint toothpaste, and then there's a bunch of med passes. This is live, but if you want to read them later, you can freeze, stop, and read each and every one. I tried to keep it to some juicy. Uh-oh, is it stuck? Okay, take a deep breath. You can pull it up. Pull up. Up. Pull it that way. Up. Okay, you're gonna have to wait then. Inmate 25 at 7:30 p.m. Inmate Frugiero Sorry, Fugero, if I'm saying that wrong. Asked that this deputy inquire. What is wrong, honey? Okay, I don't know why you're not talking, and the moaning is not gonna work. Okay, I can't read your mind. Shh. So this other inmate is McKelvey, which is my last name, but only with one E. I'm sure we're not related. Asked that this deputy inquire if inmate McKelvey had seen. Hold on one second. I don't know what's happening. Inquire if inmate McKelvey had seen Fruggiero's socks in the dryer when they came out for confinement time. I asked inmate McKelvey, who responded that the socks should still be in the dryer with the clothes from room 24. I informed inmate Frugiero that the dryer would be checked once my documentation was completed. What does this have to do with Donna? Oh, I see. Adelson down here. Okay. So inmate F, I informed inmate F that the dryer would be checked once my documentation was completed. Inmate F became hostile and demanded the dryer be checked immediately, using profanity and escalating the situation. Frugiero stated, "No ho, go check the dryer now." P.A. Biatch. Frustration continued to build and made unrelated remark about inmate Adelson. How that old ass hoe get a tablet? She on confinement. She's not supposed to have a tablet. I don't know why that accent came out, but that is how I'm imagining this woman. Inmate Adelson did not reply. I advised F that her behavior will not be tolerated. Inmate F responded by covering her window with paper at this time. So, okay. Why is she worried about this woman's tablet? What does it have to do with the sock in the dryer? I'm so confused. They have too much free time. While conducting a round, it appears that this inmate is watching something. Oh, no, wait. Okay. We're just gonna mark the blues. Wow. Why does she have to be an old asshole? What is happening? Oh my god. Okay. 5:12 a.m. on the 27th. So that's a Wednesday. Inmate requested to turn on the lights in her cell so she could read her paperwork. I think she got the tablet because of her trial, though. Right? Because remember when she was in Leon County, the first time they took her to Wakulla County because they changed the tablet rules for the protective custody people. I don't understand. I'm so confused. Okay. That was hostility like next level, though. I don't understand. Why is that any of her business, this other inmate? Woo! Okay, another reason not to do crimes. Don't do crimes. Inmate requested to turn on the lights in her cell so she could read her paperwork prior to court. I informed her that due to the current light control settings, individual cell light activation is not possible without turning on the lights in all other cells. The inmate then asked if she could pull a chair near her cell door to utilize the external light. I contacted Lieutenant Safford regarding the request. Lieutenant Safford advised that due to ongoing shift change, The inmate will need to wait until the next shift. Excuse me. Why and why does, like, again, they are not the concierge. Like, the moment you tell them something is not the moment they can necessarily help you. There's a whole, like, what do I want to call it? A whole process, a whole thing in place that they have to do. So why don't you tell them, like, the night before, hey, in the morning I'm going to need to read this, because I'm sure you didn't just wake up at 5:12 and know you needed to read this. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not at her call girls. They're not at her beck and call. Okay. Um this is the 28th, so we're getting closer. 7:12 a.m., closer to her verdict. Yeah, as inmate Adelson came out of cell for court, she stated that her toilet was flushing. Pod officer did enter the cell and confirm that the toilet was operable at this time. Do they mean not flushing, or maybe it was continuously flushing? TMI for all of it. Okay. We're gonna go. I know some of you, I'm scrolling slow. I marked them with blue, the ones I wanted to go over. So, okay. Anybody think Harvey will be there for the sentencing, or is he gonna just watch? Is he worried about getting his new bracelets? Okay, September 1, 12:30 a.m. This would be Labor Day. Visual conducted during med pass. Inmate has received her meds. The med nurse filled a small medical cup of water with the inmate's medication inside, which is per policy. The med nurse and myself saw that inmate Adelson was struggling to get the very last pill out of the cup. The med nurse stated, Mrs. Adelson, you should put the other cup down, county issued orange cup, so you can get the pill out. How hard is it to get pills out of a cup, or can she not turn it upside down? As she refills the medical cup, inmate Adelson responded, I don't need more water. I have this cup here. The med nurse replied, Mrs. Adelson, it is per policy. Okay. 9/1/1144. I was contacted by Central Control stating that inmate Adelson's attorney called and stated that she needed, oh, not again, a new pair of headphones due to not being able to hear on the ones that she currently has. It's not even been 10 days, right? Central Control advised the attorney that classification would be the one to give her new headphones, but they are off today due to it being a holiday. Let it be noted that inmate Adelson was just given a new pair of headphones on 8/23 by Sergeant Ross with myself present. Lieutenant Williams was advised of this situation, and he advised me that with inmate Adelson just getting a new pair on 8/23/25, she will have to wait, just like everyone else, to get a new pair. You heard, Donna? Just like everyone else. You're not special. You're not a special inmate. They're not the concierge service, ma'am. So Pat searched back to her. So these we went over in our separate video where I had the body-worn cameras of her leaving and returning that day. So we won't necessarily. I'll hit on some of these, but yeah. We did like the first 24 hours afterwards. So we're going to go to the 5th. Inmate Adelson received her breakfast tray. She was informed that I had spoken with her husband to inform him that she will not be able to call him and that she was okay as she requested. Because she's in the turtle suit. So she has her mental health eval. Then she's got Dr. Sapp coming in to speak with her multiple days, multiple times. Seeing if she's trying to, unalive herself. Let's keep going. The flap to inmate Adelson's cell, this is on the 10th of September at 8:08, was unsecured so she could retrieve her morning medication from Nurse Ford. Be advised, this area is under surveillance. So there we have the first incident of her getting medication through a flap. According to Charlie, the people who have common sense always put it in the flap. People who are stupid open the door. Charlie. Okay. Detainee Adelson. So now she's gone from inmate to detainee. Is that a reclassification like post-conviction? Was issued her medication by Nurse Scarlett with Sergeant Pritchard. Detainee Adelson Donna received her medication from Nurse Scarlett. And then on the 13th of September, medical female direct, information only. Detainee Adelson has been crying off and on while discussing her case on the phone, which is a Secure's phone app on her tablet. If any information about her case is leaked out to the offenders housed in the female direct area, Detainee Adelson leaked it herself. Her conversation has been loud enough for everyone in this area to hear it. She has been discussing her thoughts on the judge. Ooh, I wish we had a recording of this. Prosecutor and the jury and other topics from her trial. Due to the phone lines being recorded, this information can be backed up by that evidence. Somebody's gonna get the recordings. I don't know how. I've tried, guys. I've only been able to get recordings that are entered into evidence. Okay. I refrained, I think she means refrained, from saying anything to Mrs. Adelson because she has the right to speak at her own free will. I just wanted it to be known that she has been openly discussing her case over the phone in a direct supervision area. I can't reframe the other detainees from listening. I will be informing the shift supervisor of this matter as well. There is nothing further for me to report at this time. If anybody knows anybody who is in their house with Donna, let's see if we can get some info. What was she saying exactly about the judge and the jury? On the 15th, miscellaneous, inmate Adelson has received her dinner tray. Dinner tray was served by Deputy Pompey and recorded via body cam and unit camera as female direct is under constant surveillance. There's no verbal communication from inmate Adelson during the exchange that this deputy could hear. Inmate Adelson immediately sat on the bed and began eating her dinner tray. The food is not appetizing enough. So they're checking if she's okay. She tapped on the glass, asked, "What time is it?" I advised her of the time, which is 11:17. She asked, "Have meds came yet?" I advised they have not. Really, after 11 at night? And that if she is asleep when they come around, I will make sure she is awakened. Inmate Adelson states thanks and lied down. The monster truck is right there. The red one? No. Okay, there's one right there. The orange one. Right here by the black purse. I see both of them. So at 12 in the morning, she receives her med and she turned in a sick call and asked the time. Is she like in a fog? Just waking up. What time is it? What time is it? It doesn't matter, man, because the rest of your life you'll be in prison. Who cares what time it is? It's time to do life in prison. All right. Interaction was captured via body cam and unit camera. Sergeant Blakely opened the flap and asked Mrs. Adelson, "Can I get your trash?" Mrs. Adelson responded, "Yes." She stated, "Thank you." I think I am going to ask for some of these body cam. One, I want to see if her cell looks like what it does on the male side. Why are you whining, honey? What's going on? She was given her meds, and that was the end of that. Yes. Now he wants to talk. Okay, let me look and see who has the best, I'm looking on Law and Crime to see where we're going to watch this from. I'm going to give you guys a comfort break, though, while I figure out what's going on over here. Okay, we're gonna have this in the corner, and then we're just gonna go through. Let me reconfigure this so that it's small and we're not, I think. Yeah. So what do you guys think? One, I don't know about this whole situation with the inmates and the comments, but I'm a little like, yeah, her tiny ear canals. They were probably backwards, although I think they were the ones that go inside of the ear. Um, I just don't understand, how do they keep breaking? Like, you're not even there all day. You're in court the majority of the day. And how does it keep breaking? Who's holding Donna now? Not Javi. Thank you. Baby is stretching mommy's tummy like crazy. Are making her fat. Oh my God. No, she rolled into court today. I saw her like literally rolled into court. She was like all strained and tied down. Honey, stop making that noise. I don't know what's going on over there. We couldn't get an answer about the hype function. Yeah. I think not like earbuds, like the little tampon looking things, but I think they're like these kind of the old school headphones. Can you guys see that? Sort of like these that you just plug into the tablet. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's an iOS tablet, but I just don't understand how they keep breaking. Like a week later, 2 weeks later. That's got to be quite a come down from her golf club and yoga and ladies lunch with her snob friends. But she's still demanding special treatment. Good for her. She isn't one for skipping showers. Like, oh my God. Oh, hey, Rich Auntie, how are you? I've got some Stephen Stearns notes that I'm going to play, or I'm going to read. I'll do that this week, I think, where he's trying to get like these, what do you call it? Like images that are prohibited, and he keeps trying and trying. It's a little creepy, actually. And he keeps saying, well, it's safe for, what did he say? For it's PG-13. Anyone over 13 can do it. But it's like, sir, there's still other rules. Like nobody cares. Like PG-13 is a media rating. Do you know what I mean? Like you still have to follow the rules, buddy. Um, not an airport exactly. Oh, I will not be snacking on sardines in here. Wait. Um, yeah, you heard the one. Oh, thank you. I have not hyped anyone's videos. Can you see the hype on your phone or is it PC only? Because I watch on my TV and then sometimes I'm on my laptop, which is not a PC. I don't know why I said PC only. So that I can tag people, and then sometimes I'm just on my phone. But it's like, I know. I think we'll be able to get the body cam footage, GC, of her transfer. I mean, we got her transfer from jail to jail. Um, I didn't ask, like, is it South Dakota, wherever Charlie is? I didn't ask them for their footage. Like, I was having a hard time navigating through their public requests page. Sarah gets a friend today? Who does she get? Sarah and Donna will not be together because Sarah is currently housed where Katie is housed. So I know everyone keeps saying like Lowell has multiple places. They do, but Sarah is with Katie in the annex, and I don't know what is going on over there. Are you okay? Why do you keep making that noise? Do you want to come over here? Oh my God. Yeah. I don't know if she had a greater meltdown. I'll ask again. It's like it's delayed when you thank you, Tracy. when you request it. I always ask for until date of fulfillment, but they cut it off like before that. Like I'll like this last one, I got it on the 25th, I think, or 9:30, but it went through the 17th, so I'm not sure like how they work that out. You want the almond? No? Okay, why aren't you talking? I don't understand. Can you say a word for me? Say something, and I'll pick you up if you say words. You gotta say some words though. Like, how are you? How are you? No, you're not gonna talk? Ooh, you can't be up here just moaning. Nobody wants to hear all the moaning. Okay, come here. Can I have a hug? I can't have a hug? Okay. Come here. Let me see. You just want to be held? Yeah. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, don't do that. Mommy can't hold you like that. Okay. Yeah. So I'm wondering if Harvey is there today. Wondering if Wendy, I'm guessing she just, the contrast between that luxury condo and now she has to ask permission to take a shower in a block. I know. It's choices. It's choices. She made some bad choices. And here's the thing, like to me, you guys let me know, it still seems to be playing victim. Okay, hold on. I know I can't hold you, honey. I can't hold you. Okay. Oh, now you have words. But the thing is my belly is too big, so I can hug you and then I gotta put you down, okay? I'm sorry. Um, she's still playing victim. Like she's innocent. This is all one big mistake. So, oh shoot. I'm about to be naked. My son just pulled my top down. Oh my god. Let go, babe. Let go. Wait. Mommy's clothes are coming off. You pulled my shirt off. Oh god. Okay, hold on. Look. Mommy doesn't have clothes on right now. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. He's taking my clothes off. Yeah, I know. But I think you're sleepy. That's why you're whining. Do you want an almond or not? Okay. What do you want? He's having a little meltdown. Um, she's giving victim like someone has done her wrong, and people are asking if she's going to talk at the sentencing. But if she really thinks she has a shot at an appeal, I think no, she doesn't say too much. Like she has a better legal team than Sarah Boone, and I don't think she's gonna get up there and do a Sarah. Do you know what I mean? Because Sarah definitely, well, one, Sarah had an option. It wasn't a guaranteed life sentence like what Donna has for count one. But I just don't think if she talks, she's the victim. She's gonna say like how she was done wrong, and still proclaim her innocence like what Charlie did. If she talks, I think she's regretting not testifying, but I don't think she would have added anything. I think she would have only made it worse. It seems like Josh and those guys did not think she would get convicted on count one, or they were gonna do a oh my god, what's her name now? I can't think of the other case that they cited. The woman where they killed the husband, the waiters, and then they pretended like he got eaten by alligators. Why am I drawing a blank on that? I could see the woman's face. But like she ended up getting her murder one overturned because they couldn't prove like when she knew about it. But Judge Everett put that to bed in his response. So it just feels Like that's how they talked her into not testifying and Donna into not testifying, and now she wishes like she had testified. Um, I don't know. But it's just it feels gross that she still is being a victim. Like Ruth Markel actually lost her son. Her son is dead. And even if you didn't do it, it seems like you would feel sad. I mean, you and I didn't do it. We feel bad about it. Hold on, honey. Oh, it's hard for me to hold him. The display of anger. Yeah, I mean, I went over her anger in her like when the verdict was read, and it's misplaced. Why are you mad at the jury? Why are you mad at the judge to the point where you're loud and on the phone and complaining about it? You know, I feel like Judge Everett was more than fair, went out of his way. Um, old Harvey will be there for sure. Synonymous terms inmate, but they switched it after her conviction. I'm just wondering if why, maybe if that's a policy or not. Harvey will be there with his members only jacket on. Oh yeah, totally Northwest, but I'm like it's yeah, but she did kind of leak it because she did put it in the report. We wouldn't know about it if it wasn't in that report. I don't know. I mean, she didn't leak specifics, but we know. You want what? Wait, wait, be careful. Be careful. Step up, honey. I'm trying to lift this up. Oh my god. Okay. Remarried dudes live longer. That makes sense. Meanwhile, single women live longer. Wendy said on the stand that her mom and dad equally run the family. So if Donna is guilty, does that make Harvey equal? Yes, Deb. It does. It has to. Um, right, Christina. It's not a surprise. For count one, and the judge told her that well before. I mean, I remember when Rashi was still her attorney, and then also early on when Zellman was representing her, judge saying, you know, if there's a deal to be had, you want to make that with the state, with the state. Uh-oh, we're getting, what time is it? We're getting not the seal in the courtroom. Because once convicted, my hands are tied. It is life without parole, right? Because parole doesn't exist in Florida anymore. So on that count one, now she could get up to 30 on counts 2 and 3, like Charlie did. So he got life plus 60 because he got 30 on count 2, 30 on count 3, and K-Mags did too. With Sigfredo, he only had 2 charges. I think the solicitation part was not applied to him, but the conspiracy part was, and obviously the murder. Donna has unfortunately had a full life though, and 11 years of freedom. Yes, that is true. I mean, she's 75. They stole all that from Dan Markel. You hope this is the one time he's behind schedule. I think he wants to get this over with. We know it can't go longer than 2 hours. And I'm wondering because they already did, well, at least Ruth Markel and Phil Markel already did victim impact. I don't know who else is going to be there. And like, what about the sons? Harvey is looking Vietnamese, mail order brides. He probably already has a plane ticket. Oh my God. Good Lord. Um, when do the boys get to do their victim impact statement? Do you know what I mean? It's their dad who was murdered. Does like, I mean, I guess Wendy can put the kibosh on it, but does like the prosecution reach out to them and ask them if they want to do um victim? You know what I mean? It's hard. Donna will get the same as Charlie. I hope so. Ooh, Mary, who is that in your profile? LWAP plus 25. Really? 25 total or 25 for 2 and 25 for 3? Because she can get up to 30 for each of those. At least she'll have a few years to get a feel of prison before she snuffs it. Yeah, she's coming out feet first. I wonder if she got a package with Jackie that Jackie is going to bury her. Did she get a package? Hold on, I'm gonna try to fix this so that these comments on the screen bump up. I know there's a way to do it. StreamYard keeps changing, like the different features. No, don't open that door. It's raining out there. Don't open that door. Look at that water. Don't open that. Yeah, it says shift videos up, but it's not doing that. All right. Yes, Clarissa, I think she's getting out in 30 and 30. And if she spends money on an appeal, she's a fool. Maybe for maybe for appearances for the grandsons. Okay. Please stop whining. Just use your words. Was literally rolled in. Okay. I saw a clip of that. I didn't see. I gotta watch the whole thing. Like, she was tied down, right? And with some helmet on her head. She's a weirdo. The tampon looking. Yes, my daughter has those. I have a pair of Beats that are less tampon looking, but I lost one of. Ow, no, ow. Mommy's not strong enough to do that, honey. Sorry, I can't do all the acrobats with you. Oh, okay.
I'm up here.
Okay, hold on, because you're not. You have to sit when you come up here. That gave me a very hard contraction. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's get this. Oh my God, what did I just do? Wait. She is looking rough today. Do we have sound? Hold on, guys.
Mommy, my dad put that down with the dog. I found out that.
Oh, why did we go back to the seal? She was looking rough. Girl, you know what it is. You know what you did. Maybe they were just testing it. We still have 5 minutes. I'll leave it like this, though. Wow. Yeah, she's looking wicked. Hopefully they medicated her. Jackie represents her, then buries her after she lives at her. Yes. Right? I hope there was a discount between her and Harvey. Good Lord. Let me move myself over there. Yes, crying for herself. Exactly, Jane. She's sad for herself. She feels like the victim. She's not sad for what she did. She's sad that she got busted. The face you make when a lifetime of girl bossing too close to the sun catches up to you. I love that. Oh my God. But she did get some lipstick on. Yeah, she has aged, though. Good Lord. She might be playing it up. She's already in drama mode. I know. 4 minutes. Nobody but Harvey cares about you, Donna. Nobody. Charlie is busy with his blanket. Wendy is busy trying to duck Georgia and Sarah. Rob is done with you. Oh, watching that testimony. Oh, there's Harvey. Appropriately dressed with a proper suit and tie and not that damn members only jacket. I'm gonna unshare and reshare. I just want to make sure I click the audio button properly because I'm not getting any sound from them. Okay. Add to stage. I don't know. He looks different. Is it just the outfit? Something's looking. Okay, honey. Go ahead and open it. She is. She's in the purple, the scrubs. I don't have another little chair. This is a desk chair. I've counter height chairs. But just picking him up right now is hard. Jeff. Yes, Sarah's filings were due September 2nd. Yep. September 2nd, postmarked by 5 p.m. Is that the mince guy from Texas sitting next to it looks like it. He was on Charlie's call log. That the dad and the son mince. I'll wear purple when I'm old. They put the lipstick on her, and it looks like a good brush went through at least the back of her hair, if not all the way through the ends. It's prison outfit. You see this here? It's her normal in court. I want to call them scrubs, the prison scrubs that she wears. Let me see if I can find another hearing where she wore them. Like when she testified at her bond hearing. Okay, I'm gonna. I am going to switch from our live coverage to this so you guys can see the purple.
Stand. Yeah.
So that's what she looked like there. Okay. Oh, let's get back. I think. Oh, he's in. Good Lord. Okay, they just said all rise. Honorable Stephen Everett presiding, and then they just sat down. But see, she's got a little like coral lip color on there. You know that's bothering her. Her fate is in the hands of a jolly black man. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Those daggers. She's shooting daggers. She's like, bring it. Oh, he gonna bring it, girl. He gonna bring it. This is the last day she's got to rub her back, Rochelle. Yes. Was it worth it? Glad you made it, Robin. Me too, Jimmy. She's got to be on something. Yes, the silver leaf. No doubt. She's definitely getting life. Plus. But does it really matter after life? She gets no sympathy. She's, hey, a coupon code down at the funeral home. Hello, Miss Kathy from Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. We need it louder. Where's her headphones? Now the babysitter's got to relay it. Donna heard Markel family attending. She was like, oh God, are they going to guilt me again? No, girl. There's what's her name from Court TV. Did Harvey grow his hair out since verdict day? I'm serious. Right, Gina? No, nothing has happened. We were going over her event log, but we just got sound in court. He's worried about little Mo more than his toe. Donna is born and bred in Brooklyn. She was born tough. I don't see Shagrin, Mr. Shag. He does, and he just turned 80, right? Or he's 81. Oh, is that Shagrin? Where's his walker? He reminds me of the guy from. Remember the movie with Jack Black? And I think it was, oh my God. Is it The Holiday? One of the Kates. That's who Shagrin reminded me of. Although I think I called him Chagrin when I did the video on him. Um, but the one who had the meet cute with Kate, The Holiday. Eli Wallach. Okay. It is done. Does it matter? Are we gonna have like a Shonda Van Der Ark corrections? I think he'll be able to see her in person, George, at the prison. Unless there's body cam footage, Jimmy. Loving the snark, Amanda. Only the good die young.
I'm not, I want to take milk.
Okay. Isn't Dr. Graber the OBGYN from Florida? I mean, from Southern Florida, from Miami, right? Isn't that the guy? Let me
No.
know. It's not.
No. I
Okay.
want that.
I hear something going on. So yeah, Graber stepped up. He represented himself as a friend of the Adelson family for 40 years. Not so. He had no contact with the Adelson family for decades, 25 plus years, prior to pinning his misguided attestation of their collective innocence. Okay, let's go back to that.
I want the
What you crying for, Donna? Seriously, Linda? Why? How do you know? Have you talked to them? I'm sorry, I had to interrupt that. So he went to the bar mitzvah last year, and the grandparents couldn't go. That just sent me right now. I'm sorry. That's bullshit. Okay. Four families. You guys can't hear court sound? Of course she did. Okay, hold on. I don't know why it lost sound. Hold on, guys. Uh-oh. I'm resharing it. Let me know.
My wife Sandy graduated from Queens College as well. And got to Coral Springs, we met up after being there a while. New young families, professionals trying to build their lives, children, building community. So to see this
I don't know
situation,
why, guys. Hold on.
to me, it was devastating in many aspects. As a legislator, I can tell you that BC being the law, even though I'm a doctor, I was chairman of healthcare, I was a Democrat, majority leader, and I sat on the Judiciary Committee for 2 years, and this been the laws. Even wrote some of the sentencing guidelines for participation.
Okay, I'll go back.
At that time. Well,
Proceed with its presentation.
Yes, Judge.
You may proceed.
Thank you. I have me here on the podium.
Sorry about that. Initially, he had sound problems, so I thought that's what you guys were talking about.
I guess we would start with the witnesses that we have. I'm with Sandy.
All right, he's not coming through either. Time to troubleshoot. All right, thank you, Mr. Markell. I'm going to place you back on mute at this point. Good. Let me swear you in again, sir. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you will give today will be the truth?
I do.
You can lower your head. If you're examining the witness, or is he reading a statement?
He's gonna present a statement, Judge.
Dr. Graber, you may proceed at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak on behalf of.
Yes, I'm not buying it. We've figured that out, I think.
Again, let me just, brief description of who I am, my background. I've been a friend of the Adelson family since 1979. First 20 years I knew them, we were actively engaged in many activities. The last 20 years, I haven't seen them that much until this trial became apparent to me. And my background is I'm a medical doctor practicing obstetrics and gynecology, 45 years here in Florida. I was also a state legislature from 1988 to 96, representing Coral Springs and parts of Broward County. I was the county commissioner in Broward County and mayor of Broward County for 1 year in 2006. Also a professor at the University of Florida Medical School and the University of Miami Medical School in clinical OB/GYN. And I'm here to speak today on behalf of Donna Adelson, the person I've known for a great deal of time. Hi Donna, just want to say hi. I'm sorry I can't be there to hug you. And I'm sorry we didn't get to have that dinner after your trial was over. But I'm here to, on your behalf, to let you know that you have friends, and I believe in you. Let me say that, Don, I never thought we'd be here at this situation when I first met you. It was a total shock to me and to our families. And it's a tragedy for me to have to be here to talk about this. I feel very bad for your family, for the Markello family, for the tragedy everyone's experiencing. To me, I've been following this for 2 years. It appears to be a dissolution of two families. My background is similar in many ways to both families. Like Ruth Markel, I'm the son of Holocaust survivors. I actually was born in Germany as a displaced persons camp, came to the United States at the age of 18 months. So like the boys, Lincoln and Benjamin, I don't have a lot of recollection from the first beginning of my time in the United States, but they don't have the recollection of their father, which is very sad to me. But they do have families, and I have family. And we have to learn a great deal from our tragedies, how to come back into life. My distress is not just for Donna and the Adelsons, but for the Markells as well, and especially for 3 generations of each family, which I see in tragic downward swing. And yet, I did meet Lincoln and Benjamin at the bar mitzvah last year. I got to meet those 2 boys, wonderful boys. Unfortunately, I never got to meet Dan Markel, but I have read many of his articles. Very impressive, very talented man who made some very good points about the law and about compassion in the law, which he felt could be improved. And I agree with that. So part of what I'd like to say today is basically that I do believe that Donna is a victim of natural circumstance, but has been actively exploited by parties involved in this case. I believe she was exploited by her son. Knowing Donna, who was the youngest child in her family, and knowing her mother, and how close she was with her mother, and understanding their love and need for family, it makes no sense to me that she would pursue an activity that would destroy 2 families like it has. However, having known her son and some of his issues, I believe Donna, in her own naive way, trying to be a loving mother, is subdued by guilt, by silence, by denial, and perhaps even active exploitation, and used for activities she had no part of. So I believe she's innocent on all 3 counts, even though she was found guilty on all 3 counts. Part of my understanding is also that the victims here are both families, and to watch the hate and distress and the vengeance I see is a terrible thing to look at. As Holocaust survivors, you think we would understand that better, how damaging it is to families. I would have to say, my background, I grew up in the Bronx, the public school system. I actually was at Queens College when Donna was there. I didn't know her. She graduated a year after I did. My wife, Sandy, graduated from Queens College as well. In Coral Springs, we met up after being there a while. New, young families, professionals trying to build a life, having children, building a community, which we did. So to see this situation occur, to me, it is devastating in many aspects. As a legislator, I can tell you that we see things in law. Even though I'm a doctor, I was chairman of healthcare, I was a Democrat, majority leader. I sat on the Judiciary Committee for 2 years, and this span of laws. Even wrote some of the sentencing guidelines and participated in passing them at that time. What I learned over the years was that I had the privilege of passing many laws, because I was a leader, and was able to work both sides. So many of my laws exist in the books. I get calls from judges periodically asking me about the intent of the law when I wrote it, because they have a case, and it's come down to what did you intend to happen from this law? And they would ask my opinion, and they would use that information. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the intent of the judicial guidelines for sentencing. I think the life without parole is a very harsh sentence. And that was not the intent, was to punish domestic cases with that, but they hit drug dealers and organized crime and dangerous to the public. But I think it's been switched over to be used in conspiracy theories against the average citizen, which is not the intent of the law, in my opinion. Second of all, I think that it's unfortunate that this case has gone into so many new victims. And we've already, you have 4 victims who have been found guilty of murder. 2 have committed the murder, maybe 1. The others are conspiracy theories. And I would believe that I would suggest that needs to be reviewed by the legislature. That's my opinion. Now, in this case,
Dr. Graber, before you continue, is this being offered as character? Because he is not an expert on the law.
It's character, Judge.
Very well. You may continue, Doctor.
yes, that's my opinion from my background. It's not, I'm not giving a professional opinion, I'm giving my personal opinion from experience. What I'm asking the court today is, to me, the court, the judicial system, the power of the judicial system is in the judge. And it is the judge who is the presenter, a safety net for the public, to show some compassion when the cold written law, with every box checked off, shows no compassion. Where does the compassion come from? It should come from the judge, it should come from the jury. And I think that maybe that's something we have to consider. So at this point, what I'm saying is that I believe Donna Adelson was a 5-star mother, did everything she could do for her kids, for her family, for her community. She has no bad intentions. She's not a leader, she's a baby in her family. She's always been a follower. Yes, she makes noise and she complains, but that's not her behavior. This is not her profile. So I understand that nothing can be changed, but I want it on record that I believe she is innocent of these 3 counts, and we believe her. With that, I would have to say, sometimes bad things happen to good people, and I think this is one of those cases, and it's unfortunate. For the families, I would ask, beg them, think about the 2 boys. Dad is not here, but a piece of him is here from those 2 boys. And their future, they're both teenagers now, their future depends a lot on what's going on here, and how they're going to be perceived in the future, and how they will interpret the future based on this. So I think it's time for some compassion, some understanding, some forgiving. Perhaps it's time to take a step back and let everyone heal from this process. With that, I say to you, Donna, and I love you, we support you and the family, and we hope for you the best. God bless you. And Your Honor, thank you for letting me speak.
Defense have an examination for the witness.
No, Judge.
Does the state have an examination for the witness?
No, sir.
Dr. Graber, you can remain on the Zoom. I would just ask you to mute yourself at this point.
Thank you, sir.
Defense have any other witnesses to present or evidence?
Yes, Judge, we have Rick Chagrin, who's present, would like to make a brief statement.
Please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you will give today will be the truth?
I do.
You can lower your hand. You may direct the witness or you may give a statement.
If you could state your full name, please.
My name is Richard Gordon Chagrin.
Have you prepared a statement here today?
Yes, I have.
Okay, you can do that to the court at this time.
This is on behalf of myself and my wife Susan Brotman, an attorney at law. We have known Donna Adelson for over 35 years. She's been a dear friend and travel companion, and we are still in shock of her current circumstances. We know her to be a loving parent, wife, and grandparent. We stand behind her claim of innocence. We feel the trial was held in the county where there's been a lot of bad and inaccurate negative publicity, therefore not allowing a fair trial. We contend if a change of venue was granted, she would have been found not guilty. We are hopeful she will be relocated to South Florida, where she can pursue all legal remedies available. Thank you very much for your consideration.
These are character statements or quibbling about the evidence and the rulings?
It's character, Judge, they're here to talk about their friendship and time, thank you.
Any witness examination for Mr. Chagrin?
Scotty? No, Your Honor.
You may be seated. Any other witnesses?
We did provide to the court, if you received your copy, Judge, some very short letters that were written
as character support on behalf of Mrs. Adelson, if I may go through those at this time.
Go ahead.
Thank you. The first letter that was submitted to the court was by Annie Cunningham and Ronald Gutterson, who testified at trial. They say, "We are writing this letter to restate our knowledge and feelings regarding Donna Adelson. We have known Donna since 2009 and consider her to be our dearest friend. Donna is a kind, caring, loving person. She was always concerned with the welfare of others. She is not the monster portrayed by the media. Donna is incapable of threatening or harming anyone. Donna is almost 76 years old and in frail health after almost 2 years of incarceration. We will always believe her to be innocent and ask the court to take these factors into consideration when deciding Donna's sentence." Next, we submitted to the court was one of her longtime friends, Ruth Rosenberg, who wrote, "I immigrated to the USA from Israel when I was 1 month shy of 12. I lived in Israel in a town of 5,000 inhabitants where my family knew almost everyone, and came to New York City, Queens, with a population of close to 8 million residents. To say it was a culture shock is an understatement. I didn't speak any English and physically looked like an underdeveloped child in comparison to the American girls my age. I entered the 7th grade in September, not knowing any English, the quote stranger in school. For several months I sat by myself at lunchtime in the cafeteria, staring at the next table where Donna and a group of her friends were conversing, laughing, and having a nice time. One day, Donna walked over to my table and asked me if I would like to join them, and of course I said yes, please. That kind gesture started a 62-plus year friendship. She invited me to her house to meet her family, and over time we became like sisters. I can recall several instances where Donna helped me obtain a job so I can help my parents financially. She introduced me to a family in a bungalow colony in the Catskills who needed a mother's helper for their daughters in the summer of '66. The money I earned helped my parents pay for the closing costs on their house. The following summer, she got me a job as a counselor at Camp Allegra in the Berkshires. When I had to decide on a career path, I consulted with Harvey and Donna about applying to dental school as my college advisor had recommended. Later that year, I was chosen to be the maid of honor at their wedding. We remained close friends throughout the years, even though we lived more than 1,000 miles apart. Our families visited each other periodically, making sure that our children and grandchildren got to know each other. We attended life cycle events of our children, bat and bar mitzvahs, weddings, special birthdays, etc., and now our grandchildren's. Donna has always been a kind-hearted, generous, loving, and caring. She is one of my best friends, and I will forever remember and appreciate how she helped me with English while I helped her with math in Parsons Junior High School, and remained loyal through these 62-plus years. The situation she is in today is unimaginable to me. That is not the person I know and love." We also submitted a letter from Ron Ellis to the court. "My name is Ron Ellis, and I have had the privilege of knowing Donna Adelson for more than 30 years. I am writing to you in hope of offering some perspective on the woman I have come to know so well over the course of our long friendship. Donna has been a steady and caring presence in my life. When my stepson passed away 11 years ago at the age of 34, Donna was there for me in ways I will never forget. She sat with me in my grief, listened when I needed to talk, and offered comfort when I felt overwhelmed. That kindness and empathy is the Donna I know. Someone who shows up for her friends and offers strength in their darkest moments. Over the years, I have seen Donna's compassion extend beyond just me. She has been a devoted mother, a loyal friend, and someone who consistently tried to bring warmth and generosity to those around her. I understand fully the gravity of the situation before the court, but I hope that when you consider Donna's sentence, you will also weigh the years of kindness, care, and humanity she has shown to others. I believe that Donna still has the ability to contribute positively, even under these circumstances, and that she is capable of reflection and growth. I respectfully ask that you take these qualities into account when you make your decision. Thank you for your time and consideration. Respectfully, Ron Ellis." And then a brief letter from Marion and Tim Schaffman. She writes, "We have known Donna for over 50 years, and although we live far apart and have seen her often over the years, we wanted to share with you our impressions of the lovely person we have known. Donna has always been a loving, kind mother and wife, and also an exemplary daughter to her parents, who often stayed with their family. We have never heard her utter a negative word about anyone, and had tremendous pride in every member of her family. She retained many friends from her childhood and developed long, satisfying friendships with the new people she met throughout each stage of her life. Donna was always intelligent, charismatic, and sensitive to everyone. She always listened to anyone's problems and offered a helping hand when she could. Most notably, her genuine concern over our and others' health issues was truly appreciated. As you can see, it is very difficult for us to view her as anybody other than the sweet, caring person we knew. Sincerely, Marianne and Ted Schaffman." Next is a letter from Jessica Usery. "Dear Judge Everett, my name is Jessica Usery, and I am writing this letter to express my personal experiences and knowledge of Donna Adelson's character. Donna and I share a beloved grandson, Roman Harvey Adelson, born in 2017. My first memory of Donna is a video made and shared on Mother's Day 2017. Charlie Adelson surprised his mom the news that he and my daughter Brianna were expecting a baby. It warmed my heart to watch Donna's genuine excitement and happiness caught on video. Our families began spending time together as events and celebrations took place. I recall Donna being warm and welcoming. As I got to know her more, there was no doubt in my mind that she was a loving and devoted wife, mother, and grandmother. Roman's birth was a scheduled cesarean section on December the 5th. On that day, I was overcome with mixed emotions of excitement and fear. A family awaited Roman's birth at the hospital during unnerving procedure. Donna was affectionate and compassionate, as I was visibly anxious and emotional. I will always remember how she reassured and calmed me that day. We shared tears of joy and the hugs when a beautiful and healthy boy came into this world. Donna was caring and supportive of Bree as a new mom. I have many fond memories of time spent with the Adelsons. Although Charlie and Bree were no longer a couple beyond Roman's first year, we all remained close. Donna has been kind, thoughtful, loving, and generous. Thank you sincerely for taking the time to read the letter, Jessica Usery. And then a short letter to whom it may concern. I've worked at Adelson Institute for Aesthetic and Implant Dentistry from October 3rd, 2011 to September of 2022. During my time of working there, I had the opportunity to experience the beautiful person that Donna Adelson is. Through my time of working often side by side with her, I've witnessed her grace and ability to diffuse upset patients. She is incredible with having compassion for others and is truly one of the sweetest people I know. She's so supportive and understanding when it comes to her employees. When an elderly person comes in as a patient, she always made sure they had assistance, whether needing help filling out forms or even opening the reception door for them. She always jumped at the opportunity to be kind and helpful. I witnessed this and I know it was sincere. I still use what I've learned from her and apply it while I'm at work every day. I recognize the gravity of the situation and understand the seriousness of the legal process, but I respectfully ask that you consider the positive qualities that define her. Sincerely, Erica Johnson. And then the last letter that we submitted from was Attorney Gary Cohn. He said, my name is Gary Cohen. I've been a member in good standing at the Florida Bar since 1980. I have known Donna and Harvey Adelson as personal friends and personal counsel for almost 40 years. Harvey was also my dentist for most of those years. I have been in the Adelson house, and they have been in mine numerous times over the years since their children were little ones. My wife and I have socialized with Harvey and Donna at dinners, blessed events such as bar and bat mitzvahs, and weddings, birthdays, and many other occasions. I've also traveled with them, including their wonderful trip to Africa with 2 of my sons several years ago. I therefore have had a unique opportunity to observe Donna under many circumstances. In all the time I have known her, I have literally never heard Donna raise her voice, lose her temper, act inappropriately, or treat anyone with less than full respect, and almost always with a smile on her face. I have never heard a bad word said about Donna from any other friend or person in my presence. She has always been an amazing mother to her children, and she and Harvey have had the most loving marriage that can be imagined. While I cannot comment on any of the facts of this case or any of the alleged events, I can say that the Donna I know is the last person I would ever think of when it comes to what has been this utterly horrible crime, dealing with the death of Dan Markell. Being a trial lawyer for 45 years, I fully believe in the jury system and understand that a jury has spoken. However, the woman I've known so well for so long also needs to be understood as the wonderful wife, mother, grandmother, and friend that she has been known to me. I only hope that this information can be of use to the court when it comes to the sentencing of Donna Adelson. Gary Cohen. At this time, I believe that Mrs. Adelson's husband, Harvey Adelson, would like to address the court.
Very well. Do you wish to enter these letters into evidence?
Yes, Judge.
Does the state have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
They will be composite defense 1 for sentencing.
Thank you, Judge.
Dr. Adelson, please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, I do.
You can lower your hand. You may speak.
Thank you, Judge, and respected officers of the court for allowing me to speak. I have been Donna Adelson's husband for over 50 years. My wife sacrificed everything so that she could pour her heart and soul into our children, our grandchildren, and our marriage. This summer was our 54th wedding anniversary, and I had to spend it without her, hand in mind. She has done nothing wrong, and yet is being punished for a crime that she did not commit.
What?
I thought we lived in a different kind of world, but I guess I was wrong. I have listened, watched, and sat in the courtroom for the entire trial, and I could not help but scream in my mind by the witnesses that were brought forward by the prosecution who told outright lies. I didn't know that you could lie in a courtroom, but apparently you can. Danny's parents contend that they have never seen their grandchild. But for years they say they've never seen her. But Wendy has shared with me pictures and videos and letters from their visits. They have suffered immensely at the loss of their son, but they also contend to tell lies to the court about our grandchildren. Donna has always been a loving and caring wife and is innocent of the charges. A biased judge and jury were influenced by years of one-sided news pieces and
Before you
social
continue,
media.
Doctor, Ms. Fulford, this has nothing to do with the character of
Thank
the
you.
defendant or relates to sentencing. Go ahead.
Biased by the judge? You gonna tell the judge that to his face? You got a lot of nerve, partner. Wow. How many unsupervised visits have the Markells kept? That's what she said. They're highly choreographed. Now you calling the victim's mama a liar? You are so out of line. Liberty and justice agree with me. My blood pressure just went through the roof. I cannot believe it. The audacity. Yes, indeed, Lee. You are nasty. Right, Veronica? Oh my God. And then you missed your anniversary because of your wife's actions, sir, not because of the judge. Get all of them in line.
All right, thank you for letting me continue. Donna did not participate in the heinous acts that she was convicted
That's
of.
not character.
You are sending an innocent woman to prison. You have taken my wife, and you have taken my life as well. And for what? This is not justice. It is vengeance, and it is wrong.
You have an examination for Dr. Adelson.
No, Your Honor. No, Judge.
Any other witness statements that you wish to give?
I don't believe so. Just one second.
But this other hoo-ha got up there and said he went to their bar mitzvah, but the grandparents couldn't go. They're just full of it. Oh my goodness.
Further witnesses, Judge, but Mrs. Adelson has decided she would like to make an unsworn statement.
Unsworn?
Yes, Judge.
A sworn statement. We are behind a
All
little bit, guys.
witnesses will be sworn this afternoon that you wish to speak.
Judge, case law indicates, confirms that the defendant has the right to make an unsworn statement prior to sentencing. The court, Rule 3.720.
This should have been a motion.
States the court shall entertain submissions of evidence by the parties that are relevant to the sentence. A number of cases, Your Honor, that have interpreted this, especially in a
I hope
capital case.
Georgia has
as
something in her
the
back
defendant having a right
pocket.
to make an unsworn statement. This is a capital.
Please give the citations.
Yes, Your Honor. Excuse me. First is Smith versus State, 268, Southern 3rd, 831, from the first DCA in 2019. You want me to continue, Your Honor?
Give me one moment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
246, Southern Third.
392.
Well, seeing in the case where it does state the defendant has a right to make an unsworn statement, we will proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Would you like Mrs. Adelson at the lectern or here?
She can remain at council table.
Thank you. I'm going to move the microphone. I need to speak loudly because this is not amplified. Just-
Okay. Is this loud enough, Judge?
I can hear you.
Thank you for letting me speak. My son-in-law, Dan Markell, was a fine and decent man. He was well-educated and passionate about his career. He was a good son-in-law, but more importantly, he was a caring and loving father. On July 18th, 2014, his car was followed, leaving his home. It should have been just like any other day, an ordinary day in the life of Ben and Lincoln's father, but it wasn't. He didn't know when he left his boys off at daycare that would be the last time he would see them, and the last time they would see him. He didn't know when he went to the gym afterwards that would be the last time he would exercise. And he didn't know when he drove home that his life would end within minutes. Danny wasn't just being followed, he was being hunted. He was brutally murdered in broad daylight, sitting in his car, in his garage, by vicious killers. I cannot imagine the terror he felt when he saw a gun pointed at him through the window of his car. I cannot conceive of his heroic efforts to stay alive during the hours after the attack. Danny died in the early morning hours of July 19th. His death is a loss to his children, his parents, his sister, all of us in his family, his friends, his colleagues in the legal community, and to his students at FSU Law School. Danny's boys each have a photo of themselves with their Abba, their dad, beside their beds. They grew up kissing the framed photo and saying, "Good night, Abba, I love you." The pictures and memories are all they have because cruel, cold-hearted people took him from all of us who loved him.
No, you're one of the cruel,
My
cold-hearted.
heart was broken when Danny died. My grandsons were going to grow up without the father who loved them. I wondered, how could we help these boys through this trauma?
I think so,
It
Tony.
was then that my husband and I knew that the best way to honor Danny's memory would be to share with these children an abundance of love, the love that Danny would have given them if he were alive. It is interesting how the state can't make up its mind about who is what they call the, quote, mastermind behind this murder. In both of Catherine McBanowa's trials, the state claimed she was the mastermind behind Danny's murder. In my son Charlie Adelson's trial, they claimed he was the mastermind. And now in my trial, they claimed that I, this grandma, was the mastermind behind the murder. I had no idea that other people planned to cut Danny's life short. And the people who did this are exactly where they deserve to be. But I had no knowledge that this horrible, evil act was going to take place. If I had become aware of this plan before Danny was murdered, I would have stopped it. With not one iota of actual evidence, the state convinced a Tallahassee jury that I solicited and conspired with other people to have Danny killed. Where is the evidence prior to the murder? The evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that the state needed to prove their case. Where is the evidence before July 18th, 2014 at 10:50 in the morning?
Before you continue,
That
Mrs.
revealed-
Adelson, as it relates to this statement, is the defense trying to re-argue the trial?
Right.
No, Judge, just giving Mrs. Adelson an opportunity to be heard.
No, this sounds like count one, that the defense didn't prove, or the state didn't prove their
You
case.
certainly can continue.
This was in their motion to
However, the
dismiss.
court can take into consideration the utter lack of remorse that you are displaying.
Hell yeah.
Please proceed if you desire to
Right.
do so.
Because this doesn't sound remorseful. You've been found guilty by a jury of your
Where is
peers.
the evidence before July 18th, 2014 at 10:50 a.m. that revealed that I had any involvement in this vile and horrific act? Where is the solicitation
Life
and
plus
conspiracy
60.
evidence? The state needed to show that there was evidence before the murder to convict me. The state couldn't show that because there wasn't any evidence. They were trying an innocent person. It makes you wonder if the jurors were sleeping. The
Woo!
state had Sergeant Corbett on the stand for hours. Their own star witness testified that my phone was never, I repeat, never at my son's house on the night of the murder.
That is not what they
The state's
testified.
theory that my husband and I dropped off money to my son was blown out of the water by their own witness. And yet, the state continued to push that story, that lie of the so-called money drop, to the jury through the remainder of the trial. And the jury bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. Reasonable doubt. Many months ago, my attorneys filed a motion for a change of venue. An expert witness testified that Tallahassee had been barraged with over 9 years of negative social media, printed
This is a show
television news,
for her
and
friends.
podcast publicity about my family. He explained to the court, both with evidence and demonstratives, that for me to receive a fair trial, it needed to be held in any of the researched and designated areas in the state of Florida other than Tallahassee. All I wanted was a level playing field, but the court wanted the trial here in the hotbed of Tallahassee. I sat through 3 days of jury selection. 180 potential jurors were asked if they had developed an opinion in my case. Those that answered yes also added, "I believe she is guilty." Not one person, not one, said, "I think she may be innocent." That should have been a clue to the court to grant our motion for a change of venue.
Oh my
But
God.
the court denied the motion.
Keep digging, girl.
One of my jurors admitted during jury selection that she had background information concerning what one of the state's witnesses would be testifying about.
Okay, Cher Bear.
Why was she allowed to be on my jury?
What moment?
Another juror,
Mrs.
One
Folger,
I
moment.
didn't hear you.
Mr. Zellman,
Sidebar?
again, this has nothing to do with elocution of any sort. This is a raising of grievances,
Right.
which are
A
properly
bitch
given
list.
to the appellate court.
It's not
What
the
does any
time,
of
not the
this have
place.
to do with sentencing?
Yeah. You better get your act right, install girl. Liberty. I cannot
Turn that
believe
phone off or step
I
out.
want this.
balls of a burglar. This is worse than Sarah Jones. I thought she wasn't going to talk so she wouldn't hurt her appeal, but obviously I didn't know about this no sworn statement. But this B is so out of line. Blaming the judge, blaming the jury. That was already ruled on. If you don't like the ruling, then you tell the appellate court, ma'am. You don't sit here and he said I can take it into account. So we already know life plus 60.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Marty.
Yeah, you should have taken the stand. I think she's regretting taking the stand. Yeah, the judge is not gonna sit here and let you tell him he don't know how to do his job, ma'am. Where's Paul from reporting live for myself? Because I cannot roll my eyes hard enough.
Mommy.
I think so, Reba. I think so. Just like the Markells thought of the grandchildren when they were doing their victims impact.
Mommy.
But and then The husband called. This is orchestrated. I wish I could hear the phone calls. Called. The husband called the Markells liars.
Mommy, mommy. Baby, baby.
Baby, and mommy, yes.
Baby, baby. Baby, baby.
But how, Trish, can they not have any remorse? Like, they feel justified in this? I just don't get it. Okay. Okay. Ooh,
No.
oh, watch your head.
Mommy,
Okay.
I want to sit the rock.
Please.
What happened to Danny is unforgivable. But I am an innocent woman convicted of this terrible crime without evidence. Danny was a brilliant legal scholar. He would have been appalled at the total lack of justice that went on during my trial. He would have been embarrassed to have his name associated with any of it.
Girl, you are not
There
speaking
are two
for a man
crimes
you
here.
murdered.
The first was Danny being viciously murdered. The second one is taking my life, the life of an innocent woman. Convicting me should not be retribution for Danny's death. That is not justice for Dan. I've always respected the law. I've never gotten a parking ticket, but I'm going to prison for a murder I did not commit. I do intend to file an appeal so that hopefully I have the opportunity to be given a fair trial outside of Tallahassee. 11 years ago, Danny was murdered and taken from all of us who loved him. For the past 9.5 years, the state has broadcast to the world, including Danny's parents and sister, that I hired hitmen to kill him. Never in a million years would I have wanted Danny to be harmed or killed, nor could I ever do something that would leave these two small boys to grow up without him. I love these boys more than life itself. This is a lifetime of loss for these children. They didn't deserve this. His family didn't deserve this. Danny didn't deserve this. And so, as I appear before you today, Your Honor, I promise you with my whole heart, I swear to you on my life, I was not involved in any way with Danny's murder. I was not.
Defense have any further argument to make?
Judge, before Ms. Fulton makes the argument, I want to address a comment that the court made a few moments ago concerning considering lack of remorse in fashioning a sentence. In Shepherd v. State 227 Southern 3rd, 746, the First District Court of Appeal held that lack of remorse cannot be considered in fashioning an appropriate sentence. If this were a situation where remorse and admission of guilt may be grounds for mitigation, the lack of these factors cannot be used to increase the defendant's sentence, and such reliance violates the defendant's due process rights. And they also rely on Ritter v. State 885 Southern 2nd 413, also a first DCA case.
I believe the Supreme Court has ruled on this issue concerning remorse and lack of showing remorse as well. If you need me to find the citation for you, I will.
Yes, please.
We'll take a 10-minute break. We'll resume at 4:16.
One, that she made that statement. Two, that she made it so that it is disparaging the judge, the jury, the whole town of Tallahassee. And then three, that Zellman came in there and gave the citation that he can't, that the judge, telling the judge what he can and can't do. You're sitting next to a disgraced judge. She's not able to tell you. And all of those are not relative to sentencing. You take that up with the appellate court. You already filed motions. You lost those motions. It was agreed. And we know that they didn't re-raise that, right? Because if we look at Charlie's appeal, one of the reasons for the denial was he did not, after he quote unquote accepted the jury, he did not re-raise a relocation or a different venue. So they said that it was moot. Donna didn't re-raise it either. You can't then come to sentencing and raise that by the defendant, no less, not even her counsel. I mean, the disrespect is off the charts. But like I said, I knew it was bothering her that this black man had her fate in his hands. So she wanted to get on record that he's biased. He made bad decisions. He didn't allow for the change of venue. Oh, my blood is boiling. Judge gives fair warning. Live, yeah. Oh, he only did 30 and not 60? I would have done 60. I would have done the max. 30 for count 2. 30 for let's push ahead. Are we in real time? Yeah, we are. I am flabbergasted. I can't believe they let her do this. And is it typed out? Somebody let her type that out? I mean, somebody typed it out for her, like she wrote it down. And then they typed it. I don't, what is happening? I cannot believe that. Wow. Balls of a killer, yeah. They've insulted the Markells, and then you're telling, I guess, the grandsons that the state is evil. The state has lied and said she was involved. I mean, wow. Wow. And also, I don't remember the state saying she was the mastermind. Now I remember like Law and Crime and all those guys, like Maestro, the mastermind and all that. But anybody who heard Katie talk knows she's not the mastermind of anything. I hope, unlike Life Plus, okay, yeah, it's gotta be, right, Reba? Like, Life plus 30 plus 30. I don't see anything else. Just utter lack of... She's working DBL time to make sure she is more famous than Sarah. Oh, double time. She wants to be the queen bee. Oh my God. Say what you want, Eveline. You'll be locked up tonight and forever after your horrid. Yeah, I hope she lives 120 years. It's making my stomach hurt, and I don't have a dead relative in this, so I feel bad for the Markells. Somebody pointed out it's Thanksgiving in Canada. Hopefully they are celebrating in the sense that one more Adelson is out of the picture. I know, Vivs. I feel like yeah, I don't know why he let her go on. I guess to have it on the record, hers was a sworn statement, so I don't know. But this with the... And I don't want to be critical of Ever, but I almost wish he had admonished Fulford and Zellman before Harvey spoke, because I'm sure they looked at that statement. I mean, who are you to criticize the judge to his face? Not that I mean you should do it behind his back, but I mean there's a procedural thing. It's not, because you know he can't have an open dialogue with you there, right? It's not, he can't go tit for tat. It's not the time, it's not the place. Yeah, she's blaming the judge, girl. I wish we could get those phone recorders. I wonder if they'll be, can you be, I guess probably not. I don't think they'll be available openly. or not committed a crime. I'm gonna go with not committing a crime. I think she didn't go a week earlier because she thought, oddly, Charlie wasn't gonna be convicted. The jurors had no knowledge. And she said, not one person on the jury said, I think she's innocent. Well, there's a presumption of innocence. They all swore in. You are presumed innocent until proven guilty. So they shouldn't need to say that. I feel like that's obvious. But I will say Rashi had a better handle on Charlie. All he did was say he's innocent and he's going to pursue this woman. The entitlement is real. Yes, under the prison, as J9 would say. This is crazy to me. Yeah, even Liberty and Justice had it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, why would one person be saying that? Thank you, WigglyButt65. I like your handle. Kentu Sakurai. She's too busy to be giving out gold. She's keeping all her gold for herself. She's not filling up not nan crack. Yeah, she would have been better off saying nothing than what she chose to say. Okay, Veronica, we'll catch you on the rewatch. Oh my God. While they do that, so the disgraced OBGYN, for those of you guys who haven't followed all of the little rabbit holes of this trial, he allegedly performed an abortion on a 13-year-old. So he's a disgraced OBGYN. And then I don't know why he was mentioning that he was a legislator, because clearly, well, at least from what he was saying, it seemed like he was implying the judge had flexibility. No, on count 1, it's life. The judge told her that multiple times. On count 1, it is life without the possibility, because Florida got rid of parole in the 80s, right? So if you prior to that had parole, you would continue on, but no new parolees after, I think it was 86. So I don't know what Garber was going on about. And so he was the first one to talk, right? And he was the first one that the judge asked Wolford, is this character or is this about the law? And then when they clarified it was about the law, he's still going on about his legislative experience. So who gives a damn? Big Book of Forgiveness. Yeah, oh my God. To the big house already. Where are they? Should we Google that? Supreme Court. Supreme Court. I don't know why it matters, because she's getting life, but okay. Maybe it gets overturned like it did. Denise Williams is the one I was trying to think of. They were trying to get one removed. Supreme Court remorse during sentencing, judge impact. A defendant's remorse is a significant factor in sentencing, as judges consider it a key mitigating factor that can lead to a more lenient sentence. Let's see if I can get a citation on that. Is remorse a mitigating factor? Yeah, it says remorse is a mitigating factor. Remorse is demonstrated by the acceptance of responsibility through word or action, as well as demonstrated insight into the... Okay, here we go.
Gentlemen, were you able to review Davis?
Briefly, Your Honor, Davis was not a capital case. This is a capital case.
No.
Although the criminal punishment code would only apply to the non-capital cases, I would already submit to Your Honor that it is distinguishable under those circumstances.
The capital part is life no matter what.
Read
So there's no
from
mitigating.
8 and 9. Nor was Davis forced to choose between allocution and maintenance of his innocence. He certainly could have allocuted without voicing his disagreement with the verdict, blaming the driver, the police, his lawyer, the trial court for his conviction, and attempting to explain his personal interpretations of the law to the judge. He could have asked for leniency without admitting guilt. He could have provided the judge with reasons to impose a sentence less than the maximum besides his claimed innocence. But he instead chose to make a lengthy statement claiming innocence, denying responsibility, and placing blame for his conviction on the alleged misconduct of others. The trial court was under no obligation to ignore such statements and
Reach!
did not err in considering those statements and imposing the legal sentence here. Do you have anything that distinguishes Davis in any way?
As I said, Your Honor, Davis was not a capital case.
Okay.
Well, any other argument or evidence the defense wishes to present?
Yes, Judge, thank you.
Please
It
move
doesn't
forward.
matter because the capital part is life. His hands are tied, so the leniency would go to the other two,
Your Honor,
whether he
we're aware
gives.
that in count one, the court has no choice but to sentence Mrs. Adelson to life for the first-degree murder charge.
Thank you.
We are going to request a downward departure as to counts 2 and counts 3, the solicitation and the conspiracy counts.
What
For
are the
this,
grounds?
pardon me?
What are the grounds?
Yes. The grounds are, one is non-statutory, and that's disparity in the treatment between co-defendants. And the second reason is statutory, and it is Florida Statute 921.00262B. The defendant was an accomplice to the offense and was a relatively minor participant in the criminal conduct.
What discrepancy? Who was treated differently? What? The white woman wasn't allowed her privilege? Oh, no. The brown people were treated differently? Oh, no.
The evidence in support of sub B would be the trial record, or do you have something more specific?
For 4B, we're going to rely on the trial record with respect to the conduct of Mrs. Adelson, and we would ask the court to take judicial notice. Your Honor did preside over Charlie Adelson's trial, and the evidence regarding the other co-defendants' activities or participation was also brought out in the testimony in the trial of Mrs. Adelson, so we'd rely on that record, Judge.
Ms. Kappelman, as to the argued grounds for statutory mitigation and also non-statutory mitigation, does the state have any argument to make?
No, Your Honor.
You may continue.
Thank you, Judge. I'll start with the disparity. Do you need case law citations for this, or you're aware of it,
Please.
Judge? Okay. The first case would be Sanders v. State, 510 Southern 2nd, 296. This is a Florida Supreme Court case from 1987.
One moment. 510 Southern 2nd. What was the other part of the citation?
I have copies, Your Honor.
296, and that's Florida Supreme Court in 1987.
Go ahead.
State versus Fernandez, 927 Southern 2nd, 939, which is a third DCA case from 2006.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
And then the third case, Judge, is State, I can't pronounce it, but State versus Kunkemoller, 333 Southern 3rd, 335. That's a first DCA case from 2022, but it is distinguishable because it does not address the issue of culpability as the first two cases do, but I wanted to bring that to your attention.
Donna took her clip out. Hopefully they got it on camera so Loophole Lawyer can have her in slow-mo with the bomb chicka bomb music. Is Harvey constipated? What's going on right here? He looks like a turtle. It did not become a brown-white thing. There was, in the very beginning of this trial, there was a lot of flack for them going after the brown people first. Even the first jury that did not convict McBanawa thought it was strange that only the brown people got convicted first. And so so for me, it's ironic as a brown person that now Donna is claiming her treatment was so negative compared to the other people, that she couldn't get a fair trial, which is what Jackie said about the disparity. That's all. I think they did read them in advance. I think part of it, Kathleen, is that they were going to see what they could get away with. Because you see when Jackie went up there with Harvey's statements, she quickly went through it and was like, don't say this, don't say that. Like, she couldn't have read it that fast. She had some familiarity to what was on that paper. I mean, starting with the doctor. Dr. Garber started about the legislation, and it's up to the judge and the jury, and the judge has discretion. But even that was wrong. The judge only has discretion on counts 2 and 3. Count 1, like Jackie said, is life. I was a victim, gave my statement, walked out. Defendant yelled for me to come back. I refused to listen. He did more crimes in court. So got original sentence plus 10 more years. Oh, I'm sorry, Kathleen. So at my brother's murder trial, we had to re-testify
Thank you, Judge.
because it was a
Start with the
death penalty
disparity,
case.
Argument,
Okay.
if I may, Your Honor. In this case, there have been several co-defendants who have either been tried or entered pleas and received sentences. I want to, for this particular argument, relate exclusively to Luis Rivera. He testified in the trial, and through himself and other witnesses, Your Honor has heard what he did in this case. And what he did in this case compared to what the state has alleged and the jury found that Mrs. Adelson did, the culpability levels are very different. Mr. Rivera was allowed to enter a plea to second-degree murder. And although, as the PSI indicates, he received a sentence of 19 years in the Department of Corrections, that was run concurrent with a sentence he was already serving in a completely unrelated matter in a federal case where he got a 12-year sentence. So the number of years that he will actually serve for his participation in the homicide of Dan Markell is 7 years in the state of Florida Department of Corrections. His conduct, as Your Honor can recall, is that he traveled to Tallahassee sometime in June and scoped out the home of Danny Markell, engaged in some drug activity with Sigfredo Garcia, and then returned to South Florida. A few weeks later, he returned to Tallahassee and again scoped out Danny Markell's house. But he didn't just do that. Prior to arriving in Tallahassee, with himself knowing that he and Sigfredo Garcia were going to kill Danny Markell, he purchased and provided the very firearm that was used to kill Danny. He came to Tallahassee and they sat in wait outside his home. They followed him with Mr. Rivera being the driver, followed him while he took his 2 little boys to daycare, and he sat and watched as Mr. Markell, hand in hand, took those children inside the daycare. He then followed Mr. Markell all the way to the gym, sitting in wait. What was he waiting for? He knew what he was waiting for. Mr. Markell did not. He had no clue these men were outside in a car just waiting for him to go to a place where they could shoot and kill him. And they waited until he exercised. They watched him get back into his vehicle,
But he's the only one to have shown contrition. He's the only one that admitted to his wrongdoing prior to going to trial. So I'm not sure how. Donna just said she didn't do it. So what are you going on about, ma'am?
And then, like hunters, traveled and followed all of this time period straight to his home. And there was no hesitation. He knew exactly what they were going to do. Without any hesitation, they pulled right in behind Danny. Danny's car was still running, the garage door was up, and Sigfredo Garcia exits the car and shoots Danny Markel, having done nothing to these men, in the head twice. How Mr. Markel survived, I don't know. But then Luis Rivera is the getaway driver. They flee the scene, they flee Tallahassee, and then Mr. Rivera stops to allow Sigfredo Garcia to dispose of the murder weapon, which has never been found. And then he drives back to South Florida like nothing has happened, purchasing motorcycles and cars, but most importantly, getting paid for the work that he's just done. The payment came from Catherine Magbanawa, and I'll address her in the next segment. The point here is, Judge, that over time, reading different things, you've heard a lot of arguments about what Mrs. Adelson's participation allegedly was. But when it comes down to it, and I didn't mention, but Luis Rivera did have an extensive criminal history at the time that he committed this offense. What actually came out at trial with respect to Mrs. Adelson, and I'm saying this, understanding, as you've learned, that Mrs. Adelson still maintains that she is innocent of this conduct. But what the state was able to show through their testimony and evidence was that the role that she played, according to them in the prosecution, was very minimal. The evidence showed that she was very upset when relocation was denied in 2013, not knowing that her daughter had agreed to it, not knowing that until she sat here in trial hearing her daughter's testimony. She wrote some very ugly emails. She said some very ugly things. But in not one of those emails did it ever say that she wished harm upon Danny Markel. And this was in 2013. The evidence that was presented by the state that was over a year later that Danny was killed after relocation had been denied. Although they argued that there was continued hostility on the part of Mrs. Adelson regarding the issue of relocation, with the hundreds of thousands of emails they had, they didn't present evidence that this ongoing dispute was being brought up in any way between the parties. The relocation between them, that issue had stopped. The testimony that was elicited was that Charlie Adelson, the son of Mrs. Adelson, was the one who was close with Mrs. Adelson, and that when she had a problem, the argument from the state was, when she had a problem, Charlie was the problem solver. And the testimony at court that was presented by the state supported that theory, that Charlie was the problem solver. They further elicited evidence, testimony, that without any knowledge of what the phone calls were, Catherine Magbanawa testified that when she was with Charlie Adelson discussing scenarios, which she didn't describe what scenarios she was discussing, that on occasion there would be a phone call between Charlie and his mother. She didn't hear the mother speaking. In fact, he left the room when he talked to, allegedly, the mother, and he came back in. He never relayed to her any information about the phone call. But the state's theory and the evidence that they presented was because Donna Adelson had been so upset about the fact that relocation was denied, and she continued to be upset, according to the testimony, that Charlie Adelson took it upon himself to reach out to someone, which was his girlfriend, and have her get someone that she knew who could commit this murder, make contact with them. According to the testimony in the state, in this case,
This is
Charlie Adelson
very odd.
told Katie, Catherine Magbanawa, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, it's just those the names were reused, but Mrs. Magbanawa, that she wanted him killed and he would pay for that to happen. Her testimony was she had no idea what the payment was going to be, but she did in fact reach out to the father of her children, Sigfredo Garcia, and he agreed to commit the homicide. Mr. Garcia then elicited Luis Rivera to participate with him in the homicide, and I'm not going to go through all the evidence in the case. I want to focus
Yeah,
on
we shouldn't go through any
what Mrs.
evidence.
Adelson allegedly did. Up until the point of the homicide, the only evidence that was presented about Mrs. Adelson's participation were those ugly emails. And there's a distinction, as we discussed during the trial and sometimes even at sidebar, of the evidence being up to the moment that Mr. Markel was killed. Up to that time, the only evidence introduced by the state in this trial for that time period were those ugly emails, and they were ugly. She called him very foul names. She said some ugly language. She clearly was not happy. And whatever conversations may have taken place while Catherine McBanawa was inside Charlie Adelson's home and Charlie was outside talking to another person. Mrs. Adelson maintains her innocence. But if you're looking at this particular cause of this disparity in treatment, the state is asking that Mrs. Adelson be sentenced to obviously life on count 1 as she has to be, followed by 30 years in the Department of Corrections on counts 2 and 3. This is far in excess of the sentence that was received by the man who himself testified to hunting down Danny Markel, providing the gun for him
He
to be
took a
murdered with,
plea. He
leading the
cooperated.
crime, disposing of the murder weapon, and going on with his life in his gang as he always had. In that disparity, Judge, it just doesn't reconcile with the facts here of what they say Mrs. Adelson did. Although there was a theme that she was the mastermind, I would argue to the court that the evidence did not show she was the mastermind in any way. The masterminds that were shown in this trial were Charles Adelson and Catherine McBanawa. It didn't show any activity prior to Mr. Markel being killed where Mrs. Adelson was involved in any way.
Take away what you're arguing as the theme for the moment. The chief difference between Luis Rivera and your client is he entered into a plea, correct?
That's correct. He did enter into a plea, but that, according to the case law, that can be considered.
And he has also cooperated with the state, testifying in many trials.
He was a cooperating witness testifying in these trials. Mrs. Adelson not only has maintained her innocence, she was never offered anything from the state.
Please continue.
Because their case was airtight, boo
On
boo.
a statutory basis, that the defendant was an accomplice to the offense and was a relatively minor participant in the criminal conduct, some of what I've just argued applies to this one as well, Your Honor. But what I wanted to point out here were the ones that we didn't discuss. So Sigfredo Garcia was found guilty at trial, first-degree murder and conspiracy. His sentence was life on the homicide and an additional 30 years consecutive for the conspiracy count. He is the one who rode in the car. He is the one who obtained Luis Garcia to go with him.
He was
He is the one
not
who sat in the seat knowing he was going to exit the car while they hunted down Danny
tried for
Markel. And
solicitation.
he's the one who got out and
Only
shot Danny
conspiracy.
Markel in cold blood.
So the max he could have
Left
gotten was
like nothing's ever
130.
happened. Along the way, made many stops, including getting out to hide the murder weapon, and then went on with his life. The killer is getting the same sentence that the lesser participant, the state is suggesting, get as well. Life in prison on count 1, followed by 30 years for the conspiracy and solicitation. Luis Rivera, I've already told you what his role was.
It doesn't work that way, though. She's just as guilty as if she held the gun under the way the Florida law is written. Jackie is making me mad right now. What are we doing? And Sigfredo didn't have 3 charges. He only had 2. The conspiracy and the murder. He did not have the solicitation because he didn't solicit anybody. He was the dude, even though it sounds like she's trying to say he solicited Luis Rivera, but that wasn't a charge for him. So you're a day late and $1 short, ma'am. We're at 4:38. I did not think it was going to go this long.
Catherine Magbanawah got the information from Charlie Adelson according to the evidence, and at his request obtained someone, Sigfredo Garcia, to do the killing. She is the one who coordinated between Charlie Adelson and Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera. Although she testified that she didn't know Luis Rivera was involved until after it was over, the evidence that the state submitted clearly contradicts that. She was communicating with Luis Rivera before, closely to the homicide, and then shortly thereafter. She's the one that spoke to him. She was sentenced on the first-degree murder to life in prison, and on the solicitation and conspiracy, she was sentenced to an additional 30 years. It was run consecutive. Again, the same sentence that they're asking for on Mrs. Adelson is the sentence that this woman who heard the request for a homicide, found the person to commit the homicide, stayed in communication with both of the individuals who are responsible for killing Danny Markel, followed up with them and provided payment to them, and then took payment.
But without Donna, none of this happens, right? Am I missing something? What is Jackie talking about? Without Donna and her money, none of this happens. She paid people to get their hands dirty, and she thought she would be not guilty, I guess.
Back from them for her to keep for herself. She was also paid in this. She participated, knew it was happening. They had proof that she knew it was happening. That was submitted to the court. All of that evidence clearly distinguishable from the conduct that they presented in evidence about what Donna Adelson did. Charlie Adelson, according to the testimony in this trial and his own, Charlie Adelson wanted Danny Markel dead. So on his close or very first date with Catherine Magbanawah, he asks her out in public at Halloween, some Halloween function, hey, do you know anybody who could get somebody killed? According to her testimony, she followed through with that. With Charlie Adelson, never with Donna Adelson, never communicated with her in any way about this. She worked then, if that's what happened and that's what's been testified to, she worked with Charlie Adelson from October of 2013 until Danny Markel was brutally killed in July of 2014. That entire period, and there's evidence, she admitted to most of it, to her conduct, and there's evidence that was presented in this trial and Charlie's that that's what happened. They made this plan, and that his stapled money was used to pay the killers in this case some $130,000 in cash that was divided up amongst Sigfredo Garcia. Sorry, my mouth is getting dry. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. It was divided up between Sigfredo Garcia, Catherine Magbanawah, and Luis Rivera. She then stayed in contact with Charlie Adelson. She convinced Charlie Adelson to get paychecks written to her, and she received those paychecks each time from Charlie Adelson. So for what Catherine Magbanawah did and what Charlie Adelson did, the evidence in this case shows it went far beyond what the state's evidence showed that Donna did, up to and including the time that Danny was killed. So again, if you're going to rate the level of culpability in this case and consider Mrs. Adelson's conduct as compared to those, they're asking that she get the same sentence as both of the people who killed, well, one person that did the killing, Sigfredo, a far more extensive sentence than Luis Rivera, who participated in the killing himself and only got 7 years. The same as Catherine Magbanawah, that apparently worked on this according to the evidence for many, many months and stayed involved even after that. Charlie Adelson is the only one who got a higher sentence. His sentence was life on count 1, the homicide, followed by 30 years on count 2 and another 30 years on count 3, so everything being run consecutively. The evidence that the state has presented is that Charlie Adelson is the one who masterminded this. That's what they've shown. Even though they said Catherine McBanawell wasn't her trial, if there's somebody who started this, according to the evidence, it's Charlie Adelson, not Donna Adelson. All the work being done was Charlie Adelson. All the money that was paid was Charlie Adelson's money. Mrs. Adelson, according to the state's evidence, did not do any of that. Again, they had hundreds of thousands of dollars, or hundreds of thousands of emails. Never one in all of those emails that we all had to go through did Mrs. Adelson ever suggest any harm to Danny Markell in any way. I understand the verdict, and she has a right to take an appeal, and that's what she'll do. But the evidence in what was argued is very far different in theory than what was actually presented to this jury. And I'm requesting that Your Honor, in determining a sentence on counts 2 and 3, take into consideration that the amount of activity that everyone engaged in this case was far, far beyond what was alleged against Mrs. Adelson. They just didn't come up with the proof for that. They did prove to a jury that she was involved, but that proof and the actual evidence was very limited to the conduct that they say that she engaged in that resulted in Mr. Markell's death. I do want to remark, if I may, just briefly on the issue of remorse. Mrs. Adelson maintains her innocence, and as she has a lawful right to do, will seek an appeal. She may not get another trial. There may or may not be parts of the finding of the jury that is reversed, may not. They can do that on, the appellate court can do that on 1, 2, or 3 counts. There are lots of options that the appellate court has. The reason I say that is this. Mrs. Adelson, maintaining her innocence, could not have shown more remorse for the killing of Danny Markell. And in her statement, although some of it I know was bothersome to the court, in her statement, I hope you heard.
I wouldn't say bothersome to the court.
Okay.
Please continue.
Okay. I misread then. I apologize
Please
based on your
continue.
comments. One of the things she said in her statement, after most of her statement being about the horrible thing that happened to Danny Markell, was that the people who were responsible for it were in prison. That's a pretty big statement considering what the state believes Mrs. Adelson's position is with respect to the others who've been prosecuted, convicted, and are serving sentences in the Florida Department of Corrections. I also want to say this. The defense's position in this case, from start to finish, has always been, on behalf of Mrs. Adelson, beyond respectful to the victim in this case, Danny Markell. He should not be lost in this case, and I said that in my opening statement. We presented evidence about a wonderful man he was. He did not deserve for this to happen. The Markells gave their statements at the conclusion of the verdict that was issued by the jury, and I listened to every single word. And every single word that they said came out of the terrible grief from the loss of their son and the feelings that they have developed over the course of this 11 years in prosecuting these various people and additional information that has been given to them. Every word they had every right to say.
The judge was telling Jackie, don't put words in my mouth, is what I said, because she was like, it seemed like he was getting annoyed or whatever. I guess she's like reading his face, and he was like, no.
Feelings that they had are exactly what they should have. What happened to Danny Markell, as Donna Adelson has said in her statement, could not have been more horrific. He was treated like an animal, completely unaware that there was any kind of problem, that he would have any kind of physical altercation with anybody. I'm positive the first thing from his mind that day was that someone was going to kill him in his garage at his home. He did not deserve what he got. It's been very clear in the prior prosecutions and what was presented in Mrs. Adelson's trial about the conduct of these other individuals. They do deserve to be where they are. They do. Their conduct is unimaginable to me.
Even Charlie?
Human beings would engage in that kind of conduct. to bring a man, an innocent man, a well-respected man, an amazing father, to take him away from his mother, his father, his sister, most importantly, his children. That was horrific. I understand why those sentences were imposed. Not for Mr. Rivera, but for the ones that were tried and convicted. In this case, Judge, based on the
Including
evidence that
Charlie.
was presented, the defense is going to ask on counts 2 and 3 that you sentence Mrs. Adelson to 3 years in the Florida Department of Corrections, counts 2 and 3 to run concurrently. My understanding in the court, the clerk can tell me if I'm wrong, but my understanding
Did she say
is
3?
Mrs. Adelson has 701 days credit time served. That's what we calculated.
Did she say 3?
Very well.
Anything more on counts 2 and 3, Judge, first of all, in order for it to assist Mrs. Adelson, she's going to have to be successful on count 1 on appeal.
With 2 years time
If
served.
she is, anything more than that period of time is going to basically be a death sentence for Mrs. Adelson. She is soon to be 76 years old. Her health has gotten worse while incarcerated, as anyone would probably
I thought she was
expect.
going to be 75 in
Her husband
February.
is 81 years old. Compared, 3 years compared to the man who participated in the killing getting 7 years, I believe is a just and reasonable sentence for Mrs. Adelson. We are also going to ask, Your Honor, after imposing sentence, I know it's nothing but a recommendation.
Oh, yeah, she's
but we would
75
ask
now.
that you make a
Okay.
recommendation to the Florida Department of Corrections that Mrs. Adelson be placed as close to Miami as possible, where her husband resides, so that she can have visitation. I understand we don't have any control over Department of Corrections, but we would appreciate that recommendation. And may I have just one moment, please?
Go ahead.
Balls of a
I
burglar.
would ask that Ms. Adelson not be housed with Ms. McDaniel, or at least have a separation, if you could recommend that. I know Ms. McDaniel is currently at Lowell CI.
Yes, Judge, I thank you for that, Ms. Kappelman. I wanted to raise that issue because we did check into that. Judge, I contacted the Florida Department of Corrections. They did indicate that they would be able to keep them separate, but that doesn't necessarily mean that folks who are familiar with and friendly with Mrs. McDaniel wouldn't be where Mrs. Adelson would be. So we are concerned about that, about her being placed at that facility. I didn't know it before.
Because somebody might jump her
Center
for
the women
lying.
actually keep inmates there. So I know that's a possibility, but again, that's in Ocala, and we're respectfully requesting that she be placed closer to Miami. Thank you.
For the record, because I don't think the judge has any
When
say
you review
over
the
that.
last
That's
case,
DOC.
The defense has presented for downward departure. Ms. Kappelman, you had something else?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Review the cases for downward departure, or in support of downward departure, the defense has argued.
She's asking for a downward departure after this woman showed zero contrition. Blame the judge, blame the jury, blame the whole town of Tallahassee. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, seriously, people. Balls of a burglar. Right, we get to pick. She thinks it's a concierge service, Bethany. Here, the jail, the judge, they're all here to serve her. $3 years. I cannot believe it. 3 years. With already 2 almost. Because she got locked up November of 23. No. They really think they're going to get that first count overturned. Like the Denise Williams case. Maybe we should cover some of that. Maybe we should cover her interrogation. And then her co-conspirator's testimony at her trial. Because that was spicy. Agreed, Bossy Tuba. Not after that vitriol she spit all over the courtroom floor. Yeah. That is not Roman's son on the bench over there. Roman's son wouldn't be that old. He was born since Dan Markel's death, so 2015 or later. Um, so the most he could be would be 10, 9, really. Those look like teenagers. Agreed, Jane. Through the whole case, contempt. And disdain, dare I say. I feel like they had disdain for the judge. How many times did they file for him to be recused? Like 4. They did an escalation to the appellate court. Then when the appellate court said no, they wanted to have the whole panel of appellate judges instead of 3. Like, I agree, Lee. Donna has no shame. Yeah, husband can afford to move. But it seemed like they were saying that they mortgaged the house to pay for her legal fees. Did you guys catch that in the pre-sentencing part? It might have been when I was muted. So, but there was something in there listed because Zellman said to correct it because it said they took out a mortgage to pay for the mortgage, and he was like, "No, it's to pay for legal fees." But I don't know why they're not using Charlie's money. He doesn't need it. I know I was in Patty's Playhouse and she said like there's no official estate for Charlie. So yeah, I don't know if they can move her to be near Wendy. Well, Wendy's in Colorado, right? And Texas. I don't know why she would be leaving the state. Look, that is the face of regret, not of innocence, not of remorse. She's looking like a pack of Newports and regret. It's gotta be Max, right, Tori? Judge Everett is not for play. Sarah is in Ocala. That's where Lowell is. Sarah is in Lowell Annex with Katie McBanawa. So they're asking that she not be with Katie, so she won't be with Sarah. Devil's Island isn't still a thing. What was Devil's Island? You and me both, Bethany. I have socks older than 3 years. Like, come on now. Roman is the son of Charlie. Oh, did you change your picture, Ian Window? They haven't given the sentence. Jackie got up there and asked for 3 years for the counts 2 and 3. They still think they have room for appeal on number 1. Donna was like, not any evidence. Ma'am, circumstantial evidence is evidence. And you didn't get on the stand and explain outside your house and be there in 10 minutes. But you see how she said the state's witness said that they could not find it. No, it was too old is what happened. They didn't know Donna was involved until 2023, early 23, when Catherine started cooperating with the state, right? So those records were gone, but they had the text message outside of your house. I know. I'm surprised she didn't bring up the jurors. It was coming. It was in there. I feel like we didn't get the whole shebang. Oh my God. Entitlement, you guys hear the wind now. Female prison near Miami is allegedly now being used for people being picked up by ICE, so she ain't going there. She is going far away. I mean, he can only see her on the weekends. Agreed, Trish. They have insulted everyone. They think they're better than everybody else. Well, she's already disgraced Judy. I don't know what other ethics charges they're going to bring. I don't know how she still has her bar license with all the allegations against her, but hey.
Having reviewed the cases presented by the defense concerning the downward departure, also as well the argument that has been presented, the court has reviewed its notes of the trial and will rule on the issue of downward departure at this point. Florida Supreme Court has a two-part test concerning whether a downward departure should be granted or could be granted by the trial court. The first is whether the trial court can impose a downward departure sentence based on a valid legal ground proven by a preponderance of the evidence. The second step is whether the trial court decides whether it should impose the downward departure based on the totality of the circumstances. As to both the non-statutory grounds that have been argued and the grounds contained within section 921.0026, subsection 2, subsection B, in reviewing the trial court's notes, what has been argued by both the defense and also as well the court's relying on the record itself, court will find that there is a ground for non-statutory downward departure, but it declines to exercise its discretion. As to the statutory ground, I will find that both the defendant was an accomplice to the offense and a relative minor participant in the criminal conduct. We'll find that has not been proven, but in addition to, the court would still decline to exercise its discretion. As to the sentence in this matter, Ms. Adelson, please rise.
Give it to
Level
her.
of planning and coordination to bring the murder of Professor Markell to fruition was significant in this case. These were not crimes of chance or opportunity, and these crimes also required you to conspire with your son and others. You certainly can choose to deny your involvement and maintain innocence. The court finds the evidence in this case is clear. You will be sentenced accordingly this afternoon. The jury has found you guilty on charges of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and solicitation to commit first-degree murder, and the court previously adjudicated you guilty as to these same charges on September 4th of this year. On count 1 of the indictment for first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole or release pursuant to sections 782.04 and 775.082 sub 1 sub A Florida statutes. On count 2 of the indictment, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to 30 years in the Department of Corrections that will run consecutive to count 1. The court will also sentence you to 30 years in the Department of Corrections on count 3. Counts 2 and 3 are to run concurrent with each other, but consecutive to count 1. As to the fees and costs, the clerk can please announce those at this time.
$2,100 as a fine pursuant to section 775.083, $105 as the 5% surcharge required by section 938.04, $20 as the court cost pursuant to section 938.06, crime stop and trust fund, $3 as a court cost pursuant to section 938.01, subsection 1, criminal justice trust fund, $50 pursuant to section 938.03, crimes compensation trust fund, $225 pursuant to section 938.05, local government criminal justice trust fund, $2 as a court cost pursuant to section 938.15, county criminal justice education, $50 as a court cost pursuant to section 775.083, subsection 2, county crime prevention, $65 as a court cost pursuant to section 939.185, county additional court costs, and $3 as a court cost pursuant to section 938.19, teen court assessments.
Is there any lawful objection by the defense to these assessments?
There you are.
They will be assessed at this time. The cost of prosecution, the court will reserve jurisdiction on to determine for 60 days. If a hearing needs to take place concerning this matter, that will take place at a future time. As the defense's request for the court to make a recommendation to the Department of Corrections to place Mrs. Adelson in a facility near Miami-Dade County, I have no problem making this recommendation. The Department of Corrections will have the final say because this is an administrative matter. I will also recommend to the department that Mrs. Adelson is not to be placed in any unit or facility that would also house Catherine McVanawa. The court did previously award to the state, based on the September 17th, 2024 continuance of the trial, costs that were related to that. Ms. Kappelman, part of what you're seeking to pursue, is that included within that, or is that a separate number?
Are you speaking of the costs that were ordered in Charlie Adelson's trial?
No. The day Daniel Rashbaum withdrew from the case and the trial had to be continued.
Okay.
All costs related to moving witnesses and other matters.
Yes, sir. I don't know the answer to that, but I'll make sure that they're only in there once.
Very well. The defendant is to be fingerprinted, 30 days to appeal. Please file the appeal promptly.
Donna, may I approach the clerk? We have put I have written on the letters that I had, so we've put a composite together and I've shown it to Mrs. Kaufman, who has no objection.
Please place the sticker on them so that way they can be admitted.
No objection.
We are in recess.
We are in recess. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, so someone said she got less than Charlie. Why was Charlie all concurrent? The 30 and the 30 will run consecutive, but they will run concurrent to live. So, I mean, they're both dying in prison. Oh my God. Was it worth it, Donna? Was it worth it? They're fingerprinting her again? Good Lord. That was crazy, you guys. I am shocked by the lawyers and Donna packing while she side-eyed the TV. Yeah. I just don't understand how your client just denies her guilt and then you ask for a downward departure and you compare it to Luis Rivera, who admitted to everything. But I guess she's saying, well, Luis was already a bad guy. But Donna, if it weren't for Donna, none of this would have happened. I mean, am I the only one who feels that way? Does anybody think Charlie would have just gone off on his own and had Dan killed? Or was he trying to keep Mama Donna happy? Like, she was the puppet master. Although, I think at the end, Wendy played them all, covered herself, but yeah. Yes, justice for the Markells. Yeah, that was painful. I was having major contractions here. Good Lord. Baby's coming next week, Thursday, unless he has other plans. I thought maybe they didn't. No, because they escorted her out. I was thinking they had done it at verdict, but I remember now they scooted her out. Bye, Donna. We should change that from bye, Felicia to bye, Donna. I don't know what she thought she was going to be accomplishing with that speech. Other than vindication. It's almost like what Sarah did. Like Sarah probably changed. If Kranick was on the fence about giving Sarah life, her diatribe definitely had her life for sure. But was Donna trying to make herself feel good? Like she's blaming the jurors. She said the judge was biased. You got to be a special kind of stupid to tell the judge to their face that they're biased, in my opinion. I don't know what she was getting out of that. Was she performing for the grandsons, for the people who were there? I mean, the people who came in to testify knew her years ago from the 60s. She may not be the same person, and it doesn't mean, like, even, what's his name? Chagrin. I'm surprised he came back because he seemed shocked about the question from Georgia about to do good Jewish grandmothers threaten to dress their grandkids up in Hitler Youth uniforms. Do you know what I mean? When she was on Wheel of Fortune. Yes. Domestic coordinator. Yeah, I've seen that for years now. The ride back will be fun. Yeah, let's request. I'm going to request her ride to and from when we hang up here. And I'm also going to request the other body cam footage that was in the notes that we read ahead of time. Harvey is all alone. Yeah, that was my first time, Suzanne, hearing Harvey put more than two sentences together. I think my only other experience of Harvey talking was the Matsuri, what do you call it? Undercover, when they were looking through that gym bag. But yeah, he was PO'd. So he's not all laid back. But wow. The gym out of here. It's 5:09. I didn't expect it to go that long. All right, thank you guys for being here with me. I appreciate all of you. Sorry about the sound issue. It's always with me in the live. I have the chat on two screens, but it's delayed. And I was trying to order Sugar Bear's lunch, which is now going to be dinner. I was trying to order nuggets for him, so I was a little distracted. No, her sins will not be a deterrent. There was one more I starred because I wanted to touch on it. Oh, this one, Sandy, TCF. They're both going to be in close management, so they don't share a cell. They'll have their own individual cells. And yes, I agree. Katie is in more danger from Donna than Donna is from Katie. We know she's willing to give out pianos and paintings and dentures and veneers to get what she wants. So, Katie, you in danger, girl. So yeah, stay tuned. I want to know what kind of deal Katie gets, if any, from testifying twice now. And I know a lot of people are her 2 and 3 are running concurrent. 2 is running consecutive to 1. If that makes sense. With the Zuzu and a Wham Wham ticket. I agree. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate all of you. I will talk to you later. Toodles. Uh-oh. Sorry, I was trying to get that comment off.